Okay, looks like a cost volume profit model or a break-even analysis. I'm going to go through and show you how I would solve this. First thing you need to do is basically you're going to have to decide how many of these pieces to mail out to your customers. 8% of them will respond and buy from your mail out. And then there are costs associated with printing and mailing the direct mail piece. And then that will generate a certain dollar value and a certain cost of whatever it is you're shipping to the person. I don't know what it is, maybe a backpack or something like that. So your total revenue, to calculate that, the first thing you need to do is you figure out how many people will actually respond favorably to your direct mail out and buy from you. So I'm going to take that 100,000 and multiply it by the response rate of 8%. Now, the thing we're trying to decide is how many to mail out to break even or to achieve a certain target profit. Total revenue is going to be the number of responses multiplied by the average order, which is 40. The fixed cost of printing is just given right here. The total variable cost of printing and mailing is going to be the number you mailed out multiplied by this figure, the 25 cents. And then when you actually sell something to somebody, you have to pay $32.20 in whatever the product cost you. So it's going to be 8,000 multiplied by $32.20. And then, so that means the total cost of this mail out is $302,600. So that means your profit will simply be the revenue minus the total cost. So you would make $17,400 on an order, a mail out of 100,000 pieces, assuming a response rate of 8%. Now, this is really cool, all this stuff, but generally, and I don't have the question in front of me, but I'm sure they would want you to figure out what your break-even point is here. The number of pieces you have to mail out in order to achieve a total profit of 0. Anything above that amount you mail out, you would expect to make money. And I debated the best way to do this. Based on the previous labs you sent me, I think a one input data table would do it. So what I would do, and this wasn't in your template, I created this. I would put down a range of total mailing out of pieces here in maybe 5,000 piece increments. So I just went like this. I went 3,000, whoops, 30,000, 35,000. And then I would take those two, and that establishes a pattern. And then when I copy down like this, it copies them all. Then the next thing I would do is I would put what the total profit would be right here in this column and use the one input data table feature for it to automatically calculate, substitute in the number to mail into this position right here. So what I'm going to have this do automatically is what I'm going to show you here manually. Automatically in a minute, this is going to do this. It's going to take this 30,000 and it's going to put it right here. And then it's going to put whatever value is calculated from that, which is 8780, and put it right here. And then I'm going to get the one input data table to take this 35,000 right here and put it here. That will recalculate the total profit, and the computer will automatically put negative 6910 right here. And I believe we had negative 8780. I think that's what it should have been there. Okay, and then the next thing it'll do is it'll take this 40,000 right here. It'll put it in here. And then it'll recalculate the profit, and then the profit will be negative 5040. Now we're doing this manually, and you can see we've got a lot of possible values to mail out here in this column right here. So we don't want to have to go do this manually. So but I just wanted to show you what we'll get the computer to do automatically. It was this manual process that I just showed you. Rather than do it all by hand, what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to change this back to 100,000. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to use a one input data table where I basically highlight, I put the formula that I want to populate this column right here. So I go to that. It doesn't really matter what this value is at this point, just as long as these formulas are all right. Then what I do is I take these two columns and I highlight them. And then I go to Data, What If Analysis, and Data Table. Up pops this little dialog box. And because this is only one input we're changing, which is the number mailed, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say this column right here represents this value. And then I just click on, and so what that says is take every one of these values and plug them into this cell and then put the profit right here, right next to the value. So I click on OK, and then what it does is it did all those calculations I was typing in. And you can see that your break-even point is between 5,000 and 55,000 pieces. See how the profit goes from negative to slightly positive? What I did was I just kept experimenting until I came up with what the break-even point is. Like, let's say 53,000 pieces. Well, that generates a profit of 178, right? Negative 178. So I need to mail out a few more. How about 53,500? Okay, that gave me a profit of $9, which is essentially a break-even point. If I want to be really specific, I might try even further and go like 53,475. See? Comes out to a total profit of 0. That means if I mail out 53,475 pieces, I would expect to break even. Any amount over that will generate profit, and I can see how much that profit will be by just looking at the number I mail out and the figure beside. If I mail out 135,000 of these, then I would generate 30,490 in profit. If I mail out 100,000, I will generate 17,400 in profit. So I would just indicate that the break-even point is 5345 number mailed. Okay, so that's how I would do this right here. Hopefully that'll at least get you started, and I'll work on the other ones later.